Hi, welcome to the Crack of Dawn. I'm Dawn Lombardi, and I'm the hostess of the show here. Today, tonight rather, we have Bruce Donald here. And did you grow up in Farmington, born here and raised?
I sure did, yep.
From Farmington, isn't it great? Right down the road, right on Main Street, right? You lived? Oh, it's so nice. So I was gonna play some Christmas music, and I forgot. I love to use my phone and have the Christmas music going, but we're in the Christmas spirit here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about what Bruce does. And I know a little bit about it, but I'm just gonna play dumb a little bit because for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, I'd like you to start fresh. So I'm gonna pretend that I don't know much. And I don't really, but I know a little. So we are gonna paint while we're chatting it up. We are gonna paint, when you go to the stores, do you ever notice the red Chevy pickup truck with the tree in the back?
Sure.
It's like on the shopping bags, it's on the wrapping paper, it's on every single thing at Hobby Lobby, everything, the dish, the bag.
Yep.
So we're gonna do that. It's a red Chevy truck. This is a picture of it that I have, and I made it into postcards so that I can write Merry Christmas and stick them on gifts. And they're about, I don't know, for 100 of them, they're probably like $12.99, just like your Christmas cards would be. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show Bruce, he can start whenever you want. You know, you kind of dabbled in art.
Yeah.
You went to Middlebury College in Vermont. Did
Yep.
Did that offer any arts classes that you took there?
Yeah, I took figure drawing and some painting and a sculpture class.
Okay, because it's a pretty classic school to go to.
Yep.
Yeah, freezing, right? Freezing.
Yeah, well,
Skiing.
I didn't mind.
Skiing.
I was a skier,
Big
yeah.
skier. So Bruce has a big part in Rails to Trails. And that, I believe, is a bike path that connects from, well, you tell us a little bit about it. It's a bike path.
Sure, so let me see.
And I'll start painting and he can paint along while we're going.
Yeah, so for about 14 years, I was the president of the Farmington Valley Trails Council.
Yeah.
And
put this over here, I'll just move it when we need it. Yeah.
That was in conjunction primarily with building the trail literally right outside the door here, which is the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail, right?
Okay, right here, out the door?
Yeah, right out the door.
Oh, really?
Right.
You're kidding?
Literally,
okay.
It's literally right there.
Right off, and we're on Eastville Drive off of, what is this road? Brickyard Road, okay.
Yep.
Wow, okay.
And
doing a sky that's dark.
Where'd you put the water?
Over here, got it? Okay.
I got it.
Put it right here. I don't need much of it, so I'll make it.
And from that, I got hired 5.5 years ago or so by the East Coast Greenway Alliance.
Okay.
And that is a system of trails that goes from Key West, Florida to Calais, Maine.
That's where the trail goes from?
Yeah, 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles? How long does that take to travel on a bicycle?
A couple months.
A couple months? People have done it?
Oh yeah, people do it all the time.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. We had a bunch of people do it this year.
So that's a huge, it's kind of like a global warming kind of thing too. Like it's very good for the environment, right? Better than
well, you absolutely.
Mufflers and cars everywhere.
We talk about that.
You do?
In our literature.
He's doing a sky, I'm doing dark. He can do whatever he wants, yeah. Well, I think people are more, well, now that the gas is like almost $4 a gallon too, I think people are trying to save money, be more exercise. Forget the gym, get on the bike and go somewhere, right?
Yeah, certainly there's an element of that. There's also an element of local transportation.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that use trails and similar facilities for commuting to work.
Okay.
For instance, and
like Dr. Smith, is that the same?
Yeah, there's a bunch of folks. There's a bunch of them.
Goes to Yukon, yeah.
And so I find that I'm working with all sorts of people, politicians.
Trying to get people to use the bikes, trails, get out, get some exercise, use some family time.
Yeah, it's so from start to finish, it really does take a while to build these things.
Yeah.
And it's something of a problem because you have to have folks that are invested in doing it. So that
costs a lot of money, right, to lay down the pavement and go out in the woods with those kind of equipment.
What I'm mostly talking about is multi-use trail, which is paved.
Yeah.
And it's averaging something of around $1.5 million to $3 million a mile.
That's how much? And they get those Caterpillar trucks out in the woods and everything to Put all the, really?
Well, think
'Cause
building.
I always think, how do they get that stuff out there?
No, think building a town road,
Jeez.
because that's essentially exactly what you're doing.
Okay, same
Now,
thing.
obviously, there's
Plowing
other types of trails.
through. Doing a dark sky, Bruce, you can do yours how you want. That is my horizon line, where the sky hits the ground. And my ground is going to hit the tops of the trees, so it's still really sky. But I'm doing the Christmas trees. We're doing a Christmas tree farm with a red truck. So that's interesting. I love it. The Rails to Trails. I thought it was the one that goes to Northampton, but that's the man.
Well,
it does.
Well, the Manhand's up there, but that's
another trail.
The Farmington Canal Heritage Trail goes from New Haven, 84 miles from New Haven to Northampton.
Jeez, I can't even believe it. I mean, there was the bike path when I was growing up in Northampton, which was very popular, and it would connect different communities. That might have been the point a long time ago, but it would.
That's the point of it.
It would, like the people that, for instance, behind Big Y, I think it was Big Y Bradley's, a big, huge shopping place, was a lot of apartment buildings where people couldn't afford to have higher costs of living. And they sometimes didn't have transportation, so that bike trail was huge for them, right?
Yeah,
so that's I remember that.
So,
I was putting these pine trees in.
So there's elements of certainly elements in urban areas.
Yeah.
Where
it's very good for the community.
That's really what the deal is. It's very good for the community.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we spent a lot of time.
I did the green with the blue and the black just to make it a little bit better green. God, that's a lot of research, lots of stuff. You have a lot of environment. Who are the people on the team that you work with?
So
lots of
the folks that have quote unquote my job.
Yeah.
Tends to be planners.
Okay.
We got some
zoning and all that.
We have some engineers, but it's a planning job in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it takes a long time to build 3 miles of a bike trail, right? I would imagine. I'm just doing Christmas trees in the background, just putting green like that. Okay, and you can go close up and see in a minute, because I'll put it on my easel in a minute, and then Rich can put it on the other thing over here. This one, I think. I don't know, but that's great. I love that. Now, you were avid with bicycling? I remember, right? You liked it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all the time. Very outdoorsy, like your kids are, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No question.
And have the kids ever tried out the bike trail, got on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're very athletic. I know that.
In fact, those bike trail maps for a long time, it was my kids on the front of the maps.
Oh, that's hilarious. Really? Yeah?
Yeah.
No, it's really great. We were just saying Don Seaton, he used to work here. I don't know what he did. I forget. I always forget that I'm the producer and Rich is the director. I forget the fancy names, but he worked here, and you knew Don Seaton. I mean, he looked like he was bicycling like all day long and all night. I mean, always with the bike. It was his basic form of exercise, which I wonder if he ever did that thing down to Florida. I could see him doing that, couldn't you? Don will tell us. Don, when you watch this on Facebook, let us know if you actually biked down there to Florida, because we would believe it. We really would.
Well, of course, he's down there now.
He's down there now, so who knows? I'm going to put a couple trees in the front like this, but I'm going to make... And remember, when you're doing a tree, little kids make a tree like a triangle, but older kids will make like a cone. So you just make a smiley face at the bottom of the Christmas tree. If one's smaller, it's going to go just in the background a little more. If one's behind it, you can put some around. You don't just have to have the trees, but I'm going to have the white snow. And you're going to see how this is going to look great as we're going. Okay, then we'll do the truck and, the whole scene that you see all over the place and all that good stuff. So yeah, did you have a nice Thanksgiving? To get off the subject for a second.
Yeah, so
you did?
Saw the boys.
One's here.
One's here. One's in Denver.
And how's the cost of living in Denver? Just wondering.
It's expensive.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah, it is. Yeah,
don't ask. Okay, you're kidding. It is. God.
Yeah.
And then is it still super athletic people that live out there and like try not to use a car wherever they go, or is that like up valley?
I guess so.
Yeah, it's very, very into sporty, right?
Yeah, I think that's, you could certainly say that. Yeah, you could.
Oh, good for him. And what is he doing for work out there? He's a student still, or he's done?
He's done. He's a medical technician.
He is?
Until recently, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And
good for him. I'm just doing different trees around, see like a little farm. With lighter green in the background, and then I put a couple As long as you're doing triangles with a smiley face at the bottom so it looks more like a cone, it comes out good.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, does Will have a bicycle in Denver? Like,
Oh, he sure does.
Okay,
Yeah,
I knew it.
Commuted to work with a bicycle. For
And your kids both ski, like avid skiers.
Yep.
Yeah, they're big time skiers.
Yep.
And when were you growing up around here? Where did you ski?
Berkshire East.
You did? That's where I skied as a kid.
Yeah.
Where is it? Charles Trenton, Mass?
Charlemont.
Charlemont, yes. That's where we did. My parents actually would buy us the ski pass for Christmas.
Yep.
I don't even remember. I think it was a couple. It was expensive. It was a few $100s. But we literally, they dumped us off. And we couldn't drive because the snow was crazy. But they would dump us off. Look at that. See how much fast it goes by? 15 minutes left. We're just flying through. And we're going to try to do 2 episodes, if we can. I mean, you know me. Sometimes we just bang them out, and it's so much fun. But we're going to try.
All right. You think we're a little different?
Oh, yours looks beautiful. Show the camera. Now I'm getting competitive, so just watch out. No, but that's the fun thing about it. I told you he knew how to paint. He's got the whole barn done. So when you're doing this Christmas tree picture, remember, simple geometric shapes. I'm going to do another tree right here. Instead of doing a straight triangle, do a cone. So you do a smiley face on the bottom. That makes it look like the tree's coming out at you. Then you can put these branches, just like this, see? Dab them all in. Like, oh, and Bruce has his happy little tree socks on. I couldn't believe it.
I do.
Yeah. So Bob Ross would say, do this with a dry brush, happy little trees, and then you can make it look like they're real trees. So we're just
what's that, stipple?
Stippling, yes, we're learning that in high school. So now, Farmington High School, you went there.
Well, it was a little different place back when I went there.
So the building didn't look anything like it does now?
Well, the old building was there. Yeah, but I mean, basically, the new structures, which by the way are all
going to be gorgeous.
Mostly weren't
hut.
there.
Really?
Yeah, no.
So what are they going to do with the old land? Make it into like landscaping or something like that? Do you know?
I haven't seen the plans.
No, right? You're too busy with rails to trails, right?
No, I see a lot of plans of
I'm gonna put
bike
some
trails.
blue. Yep. So now, do you, for bikes anyway, say people are out shopping for Christmas. I usually go to Walmart for bicycles, and it's a bad idea because I end up there the next year buying more bicycles that are all so crappy. So I know there's one in Plainville. There's a little one like across the street from the diner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you like to support those little local places. I'm going to do my barn like his, okay? Just a square with a triangle roof on the top. But I mean, what's a good bike to get, say, if you were buying someone for Christmas? Like, do they say specialized?
For the trails,
more of like a
Trek specialized.
no mountain bike on a trail, right?
There's about sure you can do it. It's just that it's a long ride because the gearing's different, you know.
But those 10, 12 speed things will get you through it faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's bikes called hybrids now, of course,
Oh, wow.
which have a lot of gearing.
Yeah.
And
because I mean, I see the bikers all over the place. I mean, all over the place. They're always in Farmington.
Yep.
It's a big sport around here. People have the numbers on. They're riding in the road. I mean, I'd rather have them off the road. Is that the point of it too, or no?
Well, yeah, that is the point.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's
we're not building
much.
these facilities for the guys in spandex with $6,000 bikes.
Yeah. No, it's very.
We're doing it for the folks, for some grandparents and their grandkids.
Building memories.
That are going out and trying to get some stuff done. And
yeah, no, I think that's great. My brush just went all the way in. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. I love it.
It's
instead of making my snow, Bruce, I'm making it gray because that way there's a hair in the brush and it's not hair from. Rarely find it in the food these days. Isn't it funny?
Well, it's guaranteed it's yours.
I know. It's got to be mine, right? That was a good one. So I'm making the snow gray because then look at the parts that are showing through. It's going to look like the snow. Now, the top of the roof, I should have left it white, but I made it gray. But do what you want. Oh, yours is black.
No, I did black.
Yeah, okay. I might keep my gray.
See, don't forget, I did black because I'm going to want to do white on top of the black.
Yes. And once we flicker in the snowflakes, it's perfect. So this will go by quick. Then we'll go into the second episode. And probably by the time we're done, it's going to look gorgeous. So I'm just putting gray for the snow. That way I can have room to put white and it'll look highlighted. Yeah. So wow. So now, do you ever travel down to like the farthest places, like the Maine, like when you go to Maine and you're going for Rails to Trails to see the spot where it ends? Is that a pretty cool thing to know where it ends and where it starts and all that?
Oh yeah, no, it's
pretty neat.
You know, one of the great things about such a huge trail, such a long trail, is that, in fact, so much of it is different. You've got a trail in cities. You've got trail literally out in the countryside.
Yeah. Going through cities, into countries, all of that, right?
Yep.
And you know what I love is how they have, like when I take the dog on my walks, I park by the Trump. I don't know how to say that. Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trump.
German company. Yeah.
And what do they make there? I don't even know, but I park there because it's a parking lot, little teeny parking lots that connect it. So like if I didn't feel like driving, if I didn't feel like walking my bike or riding it all the way there, I can drive my car with my bike on the back, right?
That's right.
So there's some places that you just park your car and you get out and the bike trail starts right there. That way I don't have to walk the dog through Meadow Road and all the rest of it. So it's nice. I love it. Now, where did we pick the bike trail up here? I've noticed New Britain Ave a couple places, right?
Yep. So there's a big parking lot on New Britain Avenue at Red Oak Hill Road.
Oh, that's where Bill Wadsworth's house is.
Yep.
Kinda, yeah. Okay,
That's
okay.
right. And
And it has the cross light, so you don't hit anybody in your car, right? You can press a light
that's right.
if you're crossing with your kids and you're nervous about the traffic.
Yeah, we're trying really hard to put more and more of those in, and towns have been very good about doing that, which is
great.
nice.
Well, that's something that people would probably park more at that particular location if they had little kids.
Yeah, and
You
the
know?
other thing is,
I paint the sides.
you know, there's an element of trying to get people to various places as well. So, you know, this concept of safe routes to school.
Oh, a lot of kids I notice are taking the bike, like say to Westwoods, because it's right there. Isn't it?
More than there used to be.
Yeah, it's like right there. My brush hit the dust and went into the bottom of the thing. Yeah. So that's great. So you plan on this is never going to stop, this Rails to Trails. This is going to go on for a long time.
Well, you know, wouldn't it be nice if you could get it done? The truth of the matter is, it takes a long time to do these things.
Doing the truck. Oops. Yeah, it takes a long time.
So.
Lots of meetings. Where do you have the meetings at? Like in town?
Everywhere.
You do?
I mean, lately, of course, with the COVIDs, you know, it's been a lot
Zoom
of a lot of
calls.
Zooms.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of Zoom calls and everything. There we go. We're getting into the Christmas spirit now. And I love how they put that big tree down there by the end, Jim at Farmington Frame. Jim at Farmington Frame, great place to frame your pictures, by the way. You know, Farmington Frame, don't they put that big, it's a fake, but it's that big triangle tree they put out. It almost looks like it's the maypole that the Farmington Porter's girls swing around. Swing around, that sounds awful.
No, the Porter's girls do not swing.
They don't swing around on poles. I meant the thing that they swing around.
Yeah.
The maypole.
Oh
God, it's
I was
bad.
Totally tooling on you. Yes.
Right, I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my truck. Remember, a truck is just a rectangle with some modifications, okay? Like a trapezoid for the top of it. And then if you want the trunk down, which I'm just gonna have mine up because, you know, I already did it, okay? And then I'm gonna do the wheels. And then we'll go into the next episode and talk a little bit more about the bike trail and all that. Did it really used to be railroads? You did say that, right?
A lot of it was.
Really did?
A lot of it was.
Amtrak?
A lot of the,
Rockefeller?
no, it was before that. A lot of it was freight. Some of it, way long ago, was. All right, so that's what I'm working.
Oh, I like his better. This is what happens too sometimes at my job, even with fourth graders. I'm telling you. Yeah. But see, so here we go. We got a guest on the show that's better than me already at the painting. But we have one more episode to go, and we still have 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is not the end.
But no, we're not done. We're dueling. But it's great, though, because you, too, can do these. I would recommend, I was saying to Bruce, if you're going to do one of these at home, like, try to beware that a lot of people will say to you, oh, can you do something smaller because it's cheaper? And it's like, no, it's harder to do it smaller because it's smaller. But generally saying 5 minutes, I love it. Rich is coming out. I love it. Yeah, so if you're going to do one for, say you're going to do like 5 of these, maybe you can't do 5 at a time, but I recommend doing all 5 at the same time, because then you can just draw them first, and then when you have the red out, you do the red on all 5 of them. And they're all like little postcard sizes, and they make great gifts, and you don't need to start over. This acrylic paint dries fast.
Acrylics, actually, half of this is dry.
Right?
It's amazing.
I know. I'm going to do a shadow under my truck. So it's just going to be a line straight across. Hopefully it doesn't drip. And then I'll probably have some tinted windows on here, because that's the way we roll. You know, and I tell the kids, you want to run into Rob Gronkowski. I guess the girlfriend is from Killingworth, Connecticut.
I didn't know
Camille Kostick, yes.
How do you know this stuff?
I don't know. I read it in People magazine or something.
Oh, that's why I don't read People magazine.
Yes. So this is what somebody asked me what I do every morning, like when I wake up and all that stuff. And pathetically, I'll tell you the honest truth. Okay, the first thing I do, well, on my phone, what people were asking, what's the first thing you do on your phone? I'm like, all right, People magazine, because first of all,
on the phone.
you're not going to get all the garbage, but if like, say something disastrous happened, you know, really sad, really, really bad, it's going to be on People magazine. But all the rest of the garbage is faded out, and all the rest is about who wore what to which and when, and it's stupid stuff. Then the second thing I do is ctnews.com.
I do see that.
You do? Because then I get Connecticut news. So, you know, I'm not that vain.
Yeah, there's one Connecticut news junkie.
Yeah, and just stuff like that.
She's pretty good.
And then I have to say the last thing I get on is Instagram and social media, because I'm so bad at it that, you know, I don't even know. Like my kids were looking at it the other day and they're like, Mom, that's one of your students. I'm like, what? No, I think I said, look, it's one of my students. And I don't follow her. It's just, she just popped up on like TikTok. And they're like, Mom, that's bad. I'm like, well, I didn't say anything. You know, she's just doing some video. But I mean, you know, that kind of stuff. Now, if you want to make it look like the headlights are on the truck, you just kind of shine them out like this. And it might even hit some of the pavement over here. I might put some of those lights up here later on, but not now. Yeah, and we're going to go very slow. And if you want to make it look like the light in the little house that they're selling the trees, instead of having the window white, you just put it so some lights are on. Just a little bit of yellow. I don't use bright yellow, but I use yellow mixed with white, so it's not like too ridiculous. And it looks like the little lights are on. And yeah, it looks really cute like that. So we're going to keep going here, and we're going to keep talking about Rails to Trails. And oh, this wonderful flyer. Let me grab it quick before we go into the next episode. And this stuff, I don't usually get paint on me, Bruce. Plus, the greatest thing is, like Bruce was just saying, this stuff dries so fast.
It does.
That it's unbelievable.
Oh, the guide, yes.
This is the guide. So where do you get one of these things? This is
Greenway.org.
Greenway.org, Guide to the East Coast Greenway, New Haven to Connecticut to Providence, Rhode Island, by bike or on foot. It's like golfing. The cart or walking. Yeah, like I'll golf with you any day if you get the cart. And what is a golf cart now? I mean, sometimes it's expensive. If you open up this thing, it's full color magazine. And I was saying, so you bring it around on your bike, and Bruce said, no, this is more like a coffee table thing, but at least you could study it. It's got all these beautiful.
Yep.
And I mean, definitely get good bike gear. I mean, my Walmart bikes are not going to make it far.
No, I'm not a big fan of Walmart bikes.
No, it's so dumb. I'm like, oh, what can we put under the, you know, you got to spend nice bikes, even if they're used. But, you know, a nice bike lasts a long time, doesn't it?
It does.
For sure.
I've got one that's 30-something years old.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know the guy I'm talking about, the doctor at you, Chris. He lives right near you. Where you guys live, in the village. Where the heck does he live? Chris, he's married to an Italian girl from Italy. He's a doctor. He rides his bike. I swear to God. Hi, Chris. I think it's Chris. No, Phil. It's Phil. Hi, Phil.
Oh, you're killing me.
Phil Smith. 1 minute left. Phil rides the bike. I know it's a very expensive bike because I've seen it up close, but it's very nice. But he rides through like the Yukon traffic, like where the intersection by, what's it called? That building that built Mary Sue's house, the round building. What do they call it there? You got Hans and something deli, and Butchers and Bakers.
Oh, Hans de France.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
That's where he rides the bike. It's crazy. So we're going to tune in for another episode of The Crack of Dawn. We're doing this Christmas scene. Please tune in for the next episode, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for coming on tonight, Bruce.
Good to see you.
So glad to have you.
Thank you.